So, what a wild week it has been in the world of pro wrestling. Last week we started out with Clash of the Castle. It was all good. We were in Cardiff. The crowd was wild. The only thing we had to complain about was Drew McIntyre not picking up the win. Then we went into All Out, a pay-per-view that the build had not been great for, but we were excited for it. We got some good matches, and we got what I wanted anyway. We got MJF returning, and I was hyped. I was super, super hyped. I was ready to see where this was going. And then, well, CM Punk did CM Punk stuff, right? Went to that press conference, slagged off a bunch of people, started calling people out, essentially. And the whole AEW world went crazy, right? We've had people suspended. We've had titles been stripped. We've had injuries been reported. We've had people biting each other. We've had people having to rescue dogs. It's all been going on. It's been the Wild West. And if you've been trying to keep up with it all, I'm sure you've had a wild ride doing it. I know I have. So to kind of reiterate all of the reports that have been out there, CM Punk suspended. He's out for the foreseeable future. He's also got an injury. He's injured his tricep and needs surgery on it. So he's going to be out for at least 8 months if he comes back at all. There's a lot of reports that he might just be completely done with the company. We've got the Young Bucks suspended again. I don't think it's been reported exactly how long for, but I'm assuming quite a while, and they've had the trios titles taken off them, along with Kenny Omega, who's also been suspended. And it's just been a crazy journey. Like, what we thought we were going to get, MJF coming back after 3 months. He's someone I feel sorry in all of this for, because you imagine what he tried to do. Yeah, a little bit of a work shoot going on, clearly. It's obvious to see that when there's people actually, shooting on each other and stuff, real turmoil going on within a company. You can see the work shoot angle that him and Tony Khan have kind of worked on, but that could have been something really special. And imagine the promo he'd have been able to cut on Dynamite if he'd have had the freedom to do so, if Punk hadn't kind of screwed that up, right? He would have been working on that for months and months. He would have been ready. What we would have got would have been something outstanding. But what we got was MJF being MJF, which is fantastic, but it's not what it could have been. It could have been something so much more. And granted, he went out there and he did his thing and kind of saved the whole piece, which was great. Moxley's promo after, give that man the ball, give MJF it as well. Let's have Moxley, MJF for the world title once this tournament's done and he cashes in that chip. Let's do that. That's where I want it to go, and I think that's where it will go. But imagine all of the stuff that we could have had and the things that have happened now because of it. And I'm still kind of up in the air if it's a good or a bad thing what's happened. I think this week on Dynamite, we almost saw Dynamite return to its roots. Like, AEW's gone back to its roots. We've got the pillars in the tournament. We've had great wrestling. We've had young people in the main event, the up-and-comers, delivering outstanding wrestling. You had the old guard in Moxley cutting amazing promos. You had Chris Jericho being Chris Jericho. You had Daniel Bryan and Hangman Page putting on classic wrestling in a wrestling tournament. Very much AEW at AEW's finest, right? All building towards something else that matters. And that wouldn't have been happening had we had Punk on the show or the Young Bucks and Omega. But I don't know if that's for better or worse at the moment, right? Like I said a minute ago, imagine the CM Punk MJF feud rolling out of All Out. Would have been brilliant. So, is it a good or a bad thing? Remains to be seen. But for all intents and purposes, it's shaken up AEW, and I think that's what was needed. I think that shake-up was needed because you can kind of see it in the air, you could feel it. There was clearly tensions there, and this was the boiling point that was going to happen. And now it has happened, and I think, to be fair to Tony Khan and AEW, I feel like it's been handled pretty fairly. Obviously, there's an independent investigation going on, so we'll get more information that comes out over time to see what really went on. Obviously, we're kind of hearing two different sides to the story, and depending on which side of the fence on, you're going to lean one way or the other. Personally, I think it's a bit bad form on everyone involved, but I do feel like CM Punk instigated it quite a lot. If you say you got a problem with me, come and see me, and then there's people come and have a problem with you, it's quite hard to then be like, what's your problem? You've asked them to come and talk to you, right? Obviously, violence is not the answer in this, definitely in this scenario and in most scenarios in life, right? So it's not the greatest thing that's ever happened, but it's fascinating to watch. It's fascinating for it to unfold. I'm sure you guys and girls are all enthralled in it. So let's see what happens now. Hopefully we get AEW on this trajectory that we were once on, where it was great wrestling, great storytelling, and everyone kind of backstage felt a little bit happier. I know it's hard when you buy that many wrestlers week in, week out. It's not even month by month, season by season. It's almost week in, week out at this point. So let's see if we can get back to the grassroots of what AEW was and what it represented, which is fantastic wrestling, long-term storytelling, done well over time, good booking with an eye on the future of what the company should be. And with less arguments backstage, let's see if they can do it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this was a good or a bad thing that this has happened? Have you found it fascinating? Which side are you on? Are you on the elite side? Are you on Punk side? Are you a bit like me? Are you somewhere in the middle? And you kind of just want everything to be cool in the end? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch up again soon on German Suplex.